What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your June 14th reading. We are going to just fly right into this. All right, let's do this. So I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Okay, so we're going to read from the Postcards from Spirit deck first by Colette Baron Reed. Oh, how I have loved this deck before. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Ooh, yesterday we talked about decisions. Sorry if that was loud in your ear. I'm just like, oh, so shiny. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm excited for you. If this resonates for you, dang, I'm excited. So I make stupid voices. But anyways, so dearest you. Oh, and let me show you this here. So there's a little angel, but there's like, it almost looks like the wings are making a heart shape. And then, what does this say? Oh, with love. Yeah, with love. Dearest you, we are gathering our magic together to help you celebrate your new beginning. You're stepping into a new version of your life, getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when the urge to expand wells up inside you from a primal place? The form of what you are growing has yet to take shape, and it's exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any kind of new relationship. It's okay to admit you don't really know what to expect. What you can know is it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life, Spirit. You have made it to a new level of awakening and contributing, and we are so excited to see where this will take you next. We are so proud of you. Oh, I feel like there's like some ancestor vibes in there too. Like if you're wondering if you're like, because I know sometimes I get into this place where I'm like, will my family be proud of me? And then they show up in dreams and they're like, yeah. Now, like, stop moping and go. Like, that kind of like loving, chiding energy, right? Like when I came out, when I was 16, I came out and I asked my mom, what would grandpa have thought, my maternal grandfather? And she said, I don't think he really would have cared, but why don't you ask him? So I did. And then he showed up in my dream that night and we walked through a mall together because he would always take us shopping. And he would get us these like stickers and butterscotch lifesavers. And it was just, yeah, so but he would show up, and in that dream he showed up and we walked through a mall, and then at the end of the dream, like, he told me while we were walking that he loved me no matter what, and that this is just another part of me to love. And then at the end of the dream, the mall doors opened and an eagle flew out. So that, to me, like, eagles and hawks tend to symbolize, like, they can get attached to people throughout life, but for the reassessment of all of the meaning of it, it was really like my grandfather was there with me big time, right? So that's my grandpa, nonetheless. But that's, so I almost feel like there's like ancestor vibes on this one here. So it's like maybe talking to them in dreams or inviting them in, right? Now the two cards at the top we're kind of poking out here. So Judgment and the Hanged One. So I'll show you here. So we have the Knight of Cups that we're starting today off with. We also have Judgment and the Hanged One. And what else do we have here? Four of Wands, the Hermit, Four of Cups. Are you feeling like this is a big day? Because I think yesterday we left off with like feeling like there was a decision, right? And then lo and behold, I said the Judgment card. It wouldn't shock me if it came out. But that's how I felt, at least, because it feels like there was a decision. And now I'm seeing this beautiful new, this beautiful new. Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Beautiful. Five of Swords. Okay, so we'll take the top one here, Four of Swords, and I'll clarify with one more. King of Pentacles. Awesome. I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know that it's healing that's taken place, but I feel like it's like you're healing your relationship to what drives you. But I feel like there's been this pullback. So allow me to elaborate. I feel like there's this decision that you're making from a really, you're listening more to your heart. You're following your heart, right? And this is either you offering a cup or someone offering a cup to you. But I feel like what's happening is this beautiful, this transformation. Okay, so what's coming to mind right now, I love this. So, anyone who's been around my channel knows how much I love the death card. But what I was reading, so for Saturday's message, I talked about the butterfly that I saw while I was sitting beside the river and how it was just sitting there doing this dorsal basking is what it's called, DORSAL, basking, dorsal basking. I was like, oh, butterflies actually legitimately bask in the sun. Like that's part of their process. Basking. So cool. Anyways, I was, thinking about it, and then I was just considering how I was watching Pluto in action, like a grounded Pluto energy in this butterfly flapping its wings because of the transformation it undergoes on the one hand, and then the transformation through the butterfly effect. I was like, man, the whole life of a butterfly is Pluto. And I was like, where the hell does that sit in the tarot, right? Because but I feel like this is kind of like that energy a little bit, like the wings, right? So it's like this beautiful transformative energy of Pluto, but it's like the butterfly effect a little bit in the decision that you're making. So it could be something that is like a cascading decision, and that's what's coming to mind for me here. And I think that this is like the big picture take. Like you're seeing something for I think it's like I'm seeing this like a butterfly dancing across, and being able to see from above, and you're able to see. And so the other thing that I was just looking up stuff on butterflies out of curiosity and how like just different details, because what came to mind was at work the other day. I work with kids to an extent, and one of them came up to me and said, "Did you know that spiders have no noses?" And I was like, "Nope, I did not know that, but tell me more, kid." And so he basically, we talked for a bit, and he was telling me that the hairs on a spider's leg are how they smell. So I was thinking, like, what are the random details of a butterfly while I was, walking back to the car on my hike on the weekend. And I read that once I got to the car and I was just having my snack and having some water before driving, I felt like it was so neat to read that the butterflies have two eyes, but then there's like lenses inside each eye so that they can see a ton of different things. So I was like, man, butterflies are the freaking coolest. Like I knew this before. They're beautiful creatures, but I feel like this is also like this butterfly vision. Like I feel like that's super duper loud. And this is Pisces energy and some Neptune as well. So, I mean, broadly speaking, this could be things to do with the Neptune in retrograde or Neptune retrograde happening at the end of the month. But I think that the bigger story here is it's almost like you're losing the illusions about what it is that you have to offer, right? And that's what's allowing you to make informed decisions about new beginnings, about energies that you want to input or in place going forward. And I'm hearing contextualize on the Four of Wands here. This can become a tower if it kind of goes unaddressed and unchecked in your energy. And I think that this stability, this need for stability is like your context. It's like you want that context, but I think that relying on it too much can send you into this Four of Cups place because it's showing up in the antagonist energy. Your protagonist energy is the Hermit though, which is beautiful. So like this is a wisdom that you're bringing to what you're doing and this process. So remember, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience in whatever you're doing. And I get the strong feeling that it's like, you kind of waver between this page and knight energy. And it's sort of like a welcoming in a different context, a different understanding of your stability with this Page of Pentacles here showing up in the challenge. Like, because the Wands energy, there's nothing particularly contextual about it, but I feel like the Four of Wands represents a stability and a security that comes from committed relationships, long-term relationships, soul contracts, that kind of thing. So it's like our context. And I feel like all of this wisdom and like, resisting the urge to be so focused and gripped on one way that this is supposed to show up. I think that this is a sort of flourishing of a different kind of context. Like you're open to new, you're more open. And I think the reason why I feel like you get past this challenge is because of the Two of Wands as the triumph over the challenge card today. So that's sort of like this planning phase, but I feel like you're opening yourself up to a different way of seeing where you are and a situation. And I think that that's really helping you to put down, like you're putting down these swords, right? So the Five of Swords is showing up in an energy of like, this is the win at all cost card. This is kind of also the ego and the stories that we tell ourselves about winning and where we are in that equation as well, whether we are on a winning or losing side. So this is really, I think what you're doing, what I'm seeing is like, okay, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Spirit. It's like this, when old TVs would turn off or on, and old is, oh my goodness. Okay, so when I was a kid, some of my aunts and uncles had black and white TVs, and they also had like the old, like the whole box. It was like in a massive box of in it. I don't even know how to describe it, but when you turned it on, it had like that line, and then like it had the line that went. And it opened 11:11 on the time. It opened. I don't even know how to describe this, but I'm seeing this like line and then the blink of light in the middle and then the whole screen comes to life. And I feel like that's sort of what's happening here as you put these swords down. And I think that you might need to go a little bit easier on yourself because the Four of Swords is showing up as a restful energy, yes, but it's also like oh my God. Right? The only sword that's missing from here, from the Five of Swords, is your truth. So this could just be you kind of going easier on yourself as you open up to this new context. Or this kind of way of viewing yourself in a more grounded capacity. Because the King of Pentacles is grounded, but it's not playing small either, right? So it's like, it's almost like you're healing the relationship to where you felt like maybe you needed to, like grounded energy may have come across as like, playing small before, because I've experienced it where people have said like the way that they've articulated humility is such that it's like it is playing small, but they're completely different things. Humility is saying I don't know what I don't know, and there's so much that I have to learn, so I'm gonna stay open and curious, which is the Page energy here. And it's not like it's not an assuming energy either. So it's just really this deep abiding curiosity about yourself and the world, right? And about other people in that context as well, which is, I think, this context here of the 11:11 card and the Four of Wands. Yeah. So I'm really feeling like there is this beautiful energy of kind of shifting the way. Now that you've made the decision, it's like you're looking at you're looking at how you do things and the process that you undertake for and with that. So I'm going to pull from, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do, well, no, I'll use this one. Okay. Okay. This is Spirit's funny. I just heard, don't be fussy. Sometimes I just like to change it up, but anyway. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives for June 14th, please? So we have the Four of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Strength, Six of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Wow. A lot of energy repeating from yesterday, some carryovers here. I feel like I think this is going to surprise you a little bit in terms of how strong you feel relative to how you might have felt in the past, because this Five of Swords can just be, it's like a way of doing things, right? It's a way of approaching conflict, a great communication tool if you're looking for one. I don't want to make assumptions, and I don't, like, generally speaking, when I engage with people, I like to ask, do you need solutions or just space to hear, to be heard? So I'm not trying to like charge in with a solution or fix anything, but if somebody is looking for good conflict resolution tools, Marshall Rosenberg wrote a book about nonviolent communication, and it was like transformative for me. Like, that was a communication butterfly, right? So it was excellent. So there's that kind of framework that is very helpful. But I feel like I think you're reframing your strengths in the context of what it is that you're learning about yourself by reflecting on this past in this Four of Swords place, right? Just a little reflection. This isn't reflecting and like turning into self-flagellation or this is going to sound crude, so forgive me, but procrastination, where you like screw yourself over by, just staying in this loop of things that are, they might feel great, but they don't really do anything to your growth or anything like that. So they just keep you stuck in this loop. So the Six of Pentacles here, I think that's just a little reflection on the past. And I think it's like it enables you to look forward to the future in this Three of Wands energy in a much more positive way. And that also contributes to this sort of feeling like fate is like, it has you in its sights in a very positive way. So Spirit, can you give me more messages here? So we have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands. Spirit, can you please clarify for my daily creatives for June 14th? 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, the Tower, Knight of Wands. Yeah. I think this is like a shakeup on meaning. Like this is where you're open to a new context and you're out looking. Like you're not looking as in like, like you're pushing anything or making anything happen. I think that what you're seeing is that there is a way that you can approach a situation. There are different approaches that you can take, right? There's like a little bit of research with online stuff here, but with the Page energy, I would say that is more true of the Page of Swords, but nonetheless, I feel like there's like a planning energy here, and it doesn't just, shift your perspective. This showed up in the exact same spot almost completely, 10 of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles yesterday. Again, I think this is like, it's not a realignment of values, but I think it's a realignment of understanding what you can call to you and what you have to offer others, which is significant, my daily creatives, significant, right? The 10 of Pentacles doesn't show up because it's minor. It shows up because it's huge. And then the Tower is here, I think, as this sort of realization of another way. Like the path in this card, like the artistry on it is like the path is illuminated in a different, not direction, but like, it's like it leads you home. Like there's something about this energy that's like leading you home, shifting your context or perspective on that, and being open. Like being in a Page energy can feel really uncomfortable if you're in a Knight or if you're used to feeling like King energy, right? Like, and it's not an ego thing. It's just that established, that sense of being established. So this, you could be moving. Knight of Wands as well. This is faster moving energy. I almost feel like this is like very electric, passionate energy. Yeah. I'm seeing like this, okay, so this is more energetics, but I'm seeing this like cellular response, like this energy is rippling through your body because you're seeing, it's like the light that you're seeing, it's like not just calling to you, like there's a calling you home. It could be calling you home to something you're meant to do, calling you home to a place, or, to the feeling of home in a relationship that you cultivate with someone. It could be any of those things, but I feel like there's something that's like at a cellular level, there's like an electricity, there's an electric activation. I really do see that with the Knight of Wands, and that's the forward propulsion. That's the propulsion forward where like passion meets heart here with the Knight of Cups. And then the Page is that energy of like, well, I know what I want and I'm investing. I feel like this sort of initiate, but I'm still doing it nonetheless. And then we have the Ace of Wands on the Judgment card and the Four of Wands and then the Five of Wands, clarifying that. I feel like this is the start of something really beautiful for you. The start of something beautiful. The Five of Wands does represent training and sort of like the hard work that you're putting in. Like this is like going to the gym at 6 a.m. If you're super duper into the gym. Whoops, I'm pulling the microphone here with there we go. It's like, it's that kind of energy where you're like putting in the time. You're putting in the time. And I think about the gym because it's like something I used to do when I would run a lot. This is pre-pandemic, but now I just like the energy of the gym is very like, it's very, it feels less awesome post-transition because people often, even just running outside, if I'm not wearing my binder, they look to different signs to see like, what gender are you? And it's like, I am none. I am the flubber of gender. Like that, that little character from the Robin Williams movie. Like I don't have one. I'm Jello. Nice to meet you. Like it's like I don't, but so it's like that sense of, and I think that's possibly the why I'm picking up on that energy, which is weird because I don't know why I would be thinking about the gym. ugh. But I feel like it's like this shifting context is what I think I'm tapping into here. And it's saying that there's like some way that you did things in terms of training for the new before, but this new is showing up here in a deeply passionate way that might not be what you're used to, but don't let that impact your decision making with the judgment card here. Because as the postcard indicated, there is something new that you're beginning here. There's new energy afoot and available to you. So it's like, how are you tapping into that and allowing that to be a catalyst for you? Five of Wands, the Emperor, Six of Wands. Yeah, this is like a moving away energy because you're in this, well, it's Aries energy too. So you're just in this very decisive place, right? You've skilled up is really what it is. You've skilled up because the Emperor includes the skills of all of the suits with the kings in it. So, knowing what it is that you really want is the King of Wands, and then understanding with great clarity how to communicate that and how to go about that, King of Swords, but with emotion that is connected to what it is to why you want that thing, and embracing this deep sensitivity to the world around you as you go about it, Knight of Cups, while not forgetting to keep things very grounded and having a tactical approach that is very strategic but open and nurturing in the King of Pentacles, right? You've skilled up, and that's what this Five of Wands is really about, right? And I think that that's kind of helping you to make this decision to Six of Wands it out of there. Six of Wands out of there. Interesting. Six of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot is about like public recognition and celebration, right? And public recognition to me is not like, it can bring so many different icky things with it because I don't know. But to me, it's more of a success and triumph card, and it's showing up in the form of the Six of Swords with the boat here. But I feel like this is more you riding off into the sunset. That energy, and it's like you're skilling up, and it's like a moving energy in the way it's showing up here. Spirit, can you please clarify this Hanged One and the Hermit, please? Hanged One and the Hermit, please. Four of Pentacles, Magician, Queen of Cups, and Judgment. Cool. So that's like, I feel like this is the decision part here. It's like trusting your wisdom and trusting that you've done enough, trusting that you know enough to then act on what might have left you feeling kind of suspended in motion here about this new beginning or context shift. And context shift doesn't have to mean being emplaced somewhere. It can also mean the thoughts and beliefs within which you emplace yourself that gives life to the you in things. So the Hermit is clarified by the Four of Pentacles and the Magician. And I think this is really you understanding that in order to craft your reality, you have to do something with these Four of Pentacles other than hold on to them. Like you have to invest them, you have to give them, right? And I think this Page of Pentacles is the giving of that. It is understanding that you have to be in an energy that is willing and ready to engage in something deeply meaningful. Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. It's an offering energy, right? It too is emotion, but it's a slower motion. And it's still quite beautiful though. And passionate with this Knight of Wands here and the Ace of Wands. Like, I mean, I'm just putting it out there like that's a pretty intense heat energy. But like that's the energy that's showing up here is if you are arriving at this reading looking for information about relationship or dating or romance or that kind of thing, because I know some people do, I feel like there's something fortuitous here, but it's related to a shift. It's related to an internal shift that comes from a heart, it's a heart-centered decision. Not just in the way you're viewing yourself, but in how capable, maybe capable is a weird word, but I'll roll with it still. But like how capable you feel of and maybe deserving of having that stability. And I think the context shift is as much an emplacement as it is a sort of empowered belief in yourself. So the Magician here, and so this is really about understanding that you have to offer something of yourself. And it's not that that's uncomfortable. It's not that that's, weird or anything, but I think it's like, it's allowing yourself to be a little bit excited. Queen of Cups, like allowing yourself to be a little bit, or a lot emotionally invested in what's unfolding right now. And I think that has a lot to do with this decision, right? The judgment card showing up again. This is like the doorway that you're stepping through. It's a portal, right? Decisions are portals. So it's like deciding something about your stability and understanding that stability doesn't come or arrive because you're particularly qualified to receive it. It doesn't arrive like that. It arrives because you're you, right? It arrives because it's on the path. It arrives because of attraction and magnetizing it. It doesn't arrive because of, other stuff that you might have been told. So I think that's part of this decision, especially with the Magician here, but it takes like emotional investment. Like, when's the last time that you got excited, or like that like giddiness, or, that kind of feeling about love and romance, or, giving romance or being romance, that kind of idea. Four of Cups, we have the Fool. Yeah, this is definitely, there's a lot of leaps in this week so far. So we have the Four of Cups and the Fool, which tells me about this kind of, you're deciding, sorry about that in your precious ears. But this is like there's like the Judgment card is a decision. And this is, I think, what you're deciding on is like, the comfort of what empty cups, or the one that might be filled because it's new and you're not sure what's going to happen. So it's almost like maybe not a binary of it, but there's like old new happening here, maybe a little bit. So we have the Fool, which tells me a whole lot about the leap that you want to take. I think you are more oriented towards the new. This is also Uranian energy in the 11th house. So some Aquarian energy, but really just air. Page of Cups. Yeah, a lot of heart. I almost get this image of like speaking across, like there's like speaking energy at a distance, energy across an expanse. Just with the way that this is looking here. So it's like energy across an expanse, like you're giving something out, like it's energy across an expanse. Interesting. Yeah. Nine of Wands. Four of Swords. Again. Yeah, this to me is an energy of feeling like maybe it was just too much work. Nine of Wands and Four of Swords. It's like feeling like it was too much work, perhaps. And that's where it was like this win at all costs, because like you can get into patterns in relationship where it's not just over giving, but it's just like you just resign yourself to them being a specific way and you needing to show up in a specific way, knowing the other person will show up in a different way, but minimally so, because, so it's just like this it is a cynicism. It's a cynicism, right? And I think that the Four of Swords tells me that there's a definite healing for it to show up twice, for sure. And then I think the Three of Swords showed up yesterday. So I do feel like this is an evolving storyline here. But there's something that you're opening yourself up to with the Cups energy, abundance of it too. The Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups. Like there's an opening yourself up here. I think it's safe to let yourself take time with it though, especially with the Hanged One and the Hermit here. So let's pull from the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck by Mike Dooley and see where this takes us. They chose you. I like that energy a lot. I think that it's like, it's not so much like they chose you, like the ego. It's not like that. I think that card, the basis of that card is like someone, spent lifetimes and like they picked this lifetime to incarnate with you. And that's something about soul family. That's something about working well with other people. But I think it could, like if you're coming here for romance, I think that there's something possibly in here as well. Earlier disappointments were just rehearsal for the great stuff coming your way. A little bit of Neptune energy here. I think that's maybe the clarity that you're getting. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So I feel like it's like maybe there's some lessons about love that you've learned, and not just love in terms of relationship, but like love in terms of throwing all of yourself into something, just not just passionately, but with your whole heart, like doing something wholeheartedly. And I feel like that is possibly something to do with work as well, where if you were burned in the past for things to do with work or related to work, you could have really, hit a point where you could have really hit a point where you were feeling like disappointments were just like disappointments became the standard or the expectation. So you just stayed in that energy. That's cynicism, right? So I feel like you're breaking free of that though. And this strikes me as this like rich sunset or rich sunrise, kind of like a dawn. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. Yeah. And I think that that's really how this is all coming together for you. I think that's how this is coming together. When I respect my money respects me. And to me, this is about money, yes, but I think this is also about investments and where you're investing your energy, because that is a currency, right? That's a currency that has weight. It has merit. Because, where you invest your money, that's an energy, but where you invest your energy is also this, it's a reflection of money. So how you're investing your energy can kind of illuminate the way that you feel about or have worked with money in the past, right? So yeah. My darling daily creatives, this is your reading. So if this resonated, please like and subscribe. It helps me to grow this channel, and I would just love to have you here. And if you're joining me watching from my subscribers already, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So thank you. There are other ways you can connect with me on the channel, but if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, that it finds you very, very well, my lovelies. Have a great day.